My name is Finn Coyle. I'm Principal Technical Specialist for Transport Emissions at TfL. Today we've got one of our buses up for an emissions test. So we test every type of bus we have in service in our emissions test facility here at Millbrook to measure emissions that come from the bus so we can calculate annually how much emissions are produced in London. So what we're doing at this emissions test is trying to recreate a typical London bus journey. So we take it out of service, we take it into an emissions test facility, and the bus sits stationary in the road, moves underneath it. So basically, if you think of like a treadmill for a bus, is what we have here. The driver's sitting in there and he's driving to a test trace, and that recreates Route 159 going from Brixton on into Oxford Street. And this is what we call a real-world test cycle. So by measuring emissions on this test cycle, we get a true representation of what emissions are actually generated in London. Putney High Street is one of the worst areas in Europe for nitrogen dioxide emissions. So I had to go to some residents' society meeting and stand up and say I was from Transport for London, and some of the residents were very vocal. You should remove the buses from here, or we should all be electric tomorrow, etc., etc. So that can often be quite a difficult part of the job. Quite recently we had a scheme where we retrofitted 1,000 of older buses than these. So we specifically developed a technology on the Route 159 test cycle we have here, calibrated especially for London, especially for the London bus, made a very bespoke technology, and we got emissions down from the 15 grams per kilometre down to 1.5. I love London for its diversity, its vibrancy. I love the nightlife, music. I studied mechanical engineering, and it's quite hard to find a job in that profession in a big city, so I was quite happy when I got that job in London. It's a very, very exciting place to live.